At number 12 on the iconic 100 list is the 1961 Fleer Wilt Chamberlain rookie card. And here to talk to us today about this, one of the most iconic basketball cards of all time, is Jeff Hart, Patriot Sports Cards from Instagram. I got to tell you guys, before we filmed this, Jeff didn't know where this card would come in on the list. And I said, where do you think it's going to come in? And he said, I think about number 12. And that's exactly right, Jeff. You nailed it right on the head.
I was lucky.
I assume you agree with how the community ranked this one.
Yeah, isn't the card number 12 too?
I should know that. I don't have that in front of me.
Okay, it's around there.
So what do you think about its ranking?
Well, I think that it's definitely one of the most iconic cards of all time, but also one of the most iconic basketball cards of all time, coming from one of the most iconic sets of all time. And I think if you were to pick one card out of the 61 Fleer set, even though you have great players like Jerry West and Elgin Baylor and
Oscar.
Yeah, Oscar Robertson, how could I forget that? Wilt is the one that really stands out. He just looks like a Goliath, with a black and white image and the really bold colors that 61 Fleer brings out. And, with that card, in a lot of cards in the 61 set, they're very difficult in top condition. So when you're lucky enough to be able to own one of those at all, but even in a higher grade, I think it's really special.
Yeah, the Philadelphia Warriors, the logo, just the registration on the card, the way that they're plagued with miscuts and off-centered cuts. Mm-hmm. To me, this is very clearly in the upper echelon of the pantheon of all basketball cards, and really, of all cards in general. We've seen in the last few days, the Hank Aaron rookie card, the Mickey Mantle 51 Bowman, the rookie card, the Kobe Bryant rookie card. These are huge cards, and I think Wilt lands in that same area, and I think some people would even argue, hey, these next two cards are really in the same area. In fact, as I look at the votes, the Wilt Chamberlain is virtually tied with card number 11 that we'll do tomorrow, and just barely behind card number 10. It's just a smidge really from being out of the top 10. And I think that's where it should be, because it's the card from probably the most iconic basketball card set of all time. And talking about it with you just sort of makes me want to own a copy. Any other thoughts on the card?
Yeah, I will tell you that it just falls in the a place in history with basketball, and I think that's one of his greatest seasons as well, just coming into the league. And I personally own a copy of this, and I'm very happy to say that I do. And I think that any really hardcore basketball card collector, that either collects vintage basketball or is thinking about getting vintage basketball, this is one of the ones to own.
Awesome. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's a card that I wish that I own. Is yours graded?
It's graded in 8.5.
8.5. Is this your best card you've got in your collection? It's got to be, right?
It is, yes.
Yeah, I mean, the growth that we've seen on this one over the last few years, an 8.5 on a Wilt that's like the sort of card that people dream about. So
absolutely. And just to give a perspective, speaking on population, there is only about 35-ish cards higher than that on the population report. So about 32 9s and only 3 10s. And the fact that there's only 3 are pretty tight in collectors' hands, because I don't think we've seen one of those appear in a very long time. We've seen 9s, but we just haven't seen that 10. And it'll be interesting to see when one of those pops up, what it'll sell for on auction.
Yeah, you and I are both wondering about that. We will anxiously await that. Well, Jeff, again, thank you for all your help on all these videos that you've helped with, over the course of the last several months that we've been doing it. And again, card number 12 on the iconic 100 list, the 1961 Fleer Wilt Chamberlain. Tomorrow, I'll be back with another guest with card number 11. And until next time, happy collecting.